Alright, so we're playing Silent Hill 1 today because I'm in the mood. I love how beautiful these scenes are. And as I was researching them, I really wonder how much of the, like, variation on the scenes, like all these scenes that don't happen in the game, I wonder if it's because, like, he was kind of creating the concepts for the characters and stuff as he was making the 3D renders, so a lot of the renders look like they belong in a story somewhere, but they don't actually, like, Dahlia in the temple, what is that? It doesn't, like, I think some of them must have been created during earlier portions when the story was still being developed, and he was just kind of, like, experimenting, you know, messing around. Like, this could be a thing, and then they just don't end up using it in the story. Yeah, that scene. I love it. What were they gonna do? What was his idea? Is that the ocean in the background? That's just great. And this part with Cheryl, like, all, you know, the part where she's trapped, and then the house? Like, that connection. Oof. Oh, and I think this is the Japanese cover. I don't actually remember. The opening screen is different. I'm playing easy. Based on whether you have the Western or the Eastern version. No idea why, but they changed it. My boy! God, this is so dark. I wonder if it's my TV or if it's the PlayStation. Square butt. Somebody actually got this game working on PS4. It looks so weird. The character sprites have these, like, boxes that float around them. It's so strange. I wish it actually worked well on PS4. That'd be amazing. God, this game opens up in such a creepy, quiet way. I love it. How much of the town can I explore at this point? What if I go back this way? What happens? Like, screw you guys. Screw my daughter. I'm leaving. Let me out. Will it not let me go any farther? Today's the day we explore with this bullshit. Wow, this is actually letting me go fair distance back. Is that my car? That's not the car I was driving in, was it? Oh, that is! I've never come back to look at his car! Too banged up to drive. Where's Cheryl? Hope she's safe. Huh! So he, like, drove in... He legit drove into town, my bad. Oh, they just legit put rocks here. Just like, nah, rocks. Wonder why they didn't break... I guess they didn't want to make it that obvious that shit was fucked up yet, so they didn't break the ground. I don't know. Ah, the convenience 8. Can I go inside? Footsteps. Oh, I never had that happen! So it doesn't matter where you are, eventually it just makes you go into the cutscene with Cheryl. That's funny! I wanted to check out the Convenience 8. He's got sonic hearing. Oh wow, I never noticed the snowy texture going over the top of the fog. That's cool.
Cheryl? Is that Cheryl?
What's a reimagination game? They're gonna, like, reboot Castlevania, in my understanding. Which they've done before.
Where are you going?
And actually a guy involved with Silent Hill rewrote one of the Castlevanias. Which, this is wild. The advertiser in charge of Silent Hill 1's advertising campaign wrote the scripts for Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1 and 2. How great is that? That's just wild. Apparently he started his career in, like, video games writing for, like, magazines, I think, if I remember right. And then ended up in marketing and stuff. In Japan, they advertised the game with a quote from the creator of The Ring. Apparently he was given a game of the demo or something to try, and he was quoted on all the posters and television spots as saying, this game, you know, this game has the fear, this game has the essence. Koji Suzuki. I think that helped a lot with sales in Japan, because that game sold best there. Everywhere else it did good. It blew it out of the water in Japan. Because, I mean, The Ring's movie adaptation came out in 1998. So, like, a year later, having Koji Suzuki say, yes, this game is good, that's gonna get you some sales. Maybe the real daughter was the horrible monsters we found along the way. God, this part's so creepy and good. And I talked about in the last video how this section's probably really inspired by Hellraiser. I had not seen the film until, like, what? We watched it on the Discord, like, 3 weeks ago. Man, that was good. And it's so obvious that it inspired Silent Hill a lot. What's this? Ooh, the music. Apparently, I didn't put this in my document because I couldn't find a source. The source was just Wikipedia, which that's not a source. But supposedly, Akira, like, approached the team with his idea for the music and played it for them, and they were like, what the fuck is this? They were like, we don't get it. And he had to explain why he'd done it with, like, the noise and silence and, like, the way he did it. And eventually he convinced them that it was the right way to go. I could not find source for that, but it's a fun story if true. Oh, geez, I forgot about y'all. Hello. Can I escape you? I'm leaving. Goodbye. I'm sure it's a dead end and I can't escape. Yeah, just murder me. It's my girl.
How do you feel?
Oh, like I've been run over by a truck. But I'm alright, I guess.
Glad to hear it. You from around here? Why don't you tell me what happened?
Wait a second, I'm just a tourist.
So yes, there's rumors, again, about Konami. Slightly more substantiated than normal, because apparently they were reported to a video game site from people within the company, but take it all with a grain of salt, of course, that Konami is rebooting Castlevania and has Metal Gear and Silent Hill in the works. Supposedly from a source in Konami. Why Konami can't just come out and say, hello, we are making things, I don't know. I mean, I've said in the past that I think it makes sense if they would because of the other things they're doing, but at the same time, they're Konami. Why would they do anything that makes sense? When have they ever done this?
What's your name?
Harry. Harry Mason.
My boy.
Sybil Bennett. I'm a police officer from Brams, the next town over. The phones are all dead, and the radio too. I'm going back to call in some reinforcements.
Does Harry sound like Nick Offerman? That's a fun mental image for somebody to play Harry.
Hold it. Where do you think you're going?
My daughter. I've got to find her.
No way. It's dangerous out there.
This music really reminds me of Twin Peaks. Something about that, like, bum bum, that noise. Reminds me of the music that plays at certain points in the show.
By herself?
Have you got a gun?
It's America! We all have guns!
No.
Know who you're shooting.
Aw. Gandalf! Come say hi!
Unless you have to.
We do also have a Bob. He's hard to see.
And don't go blasting
He's sleeping
the state.
right now.
Got it?
Oh, wrong way. There's the boy. He's sleeping. He's taking a nap.
You do best to stay nearby. I'll be back with help as quick as I can.
Alright, let's poke around. I really wish that the textures of this game had higher resolution. Like, they're all extracted, which is great. But they're very hard to look at, and there's a lot of really obvious, like, it looks like a poster of something that's probably taken from somewhere. But the quality is too low to figure out what it is, and reverse Google imaging searching doesn't really work very well. So you can't find out if it's, like, a reference the way that Study Dammit is a reference, you know? Alright, give me my map. Give map. Alright. So in the original demo for, oh my god, did you see? I actually saw the bird out the window! I didn't know that was a thing! That's cool. And apparently this is like the pinball machine from Children of the Corn. I've never watched Children of the Corn. The premise just seems so funny to me. I can't imagine being afraid of small children with knives. I mean, I guess they would be frightening, but in my mind it just seems funny. Alright, take the knife. Yes. Yeah, so this is actually where the demo would end, when the bird or monster, whatever, flies through the window. That's the end. And the demo actually had no voice acting. And the lines were different. So the part here with the radio, the demo lines, which were just, you know, subtitles, said, what? What's going on with the radio? Or something like that. And then the actual dialogue is so weird. It feels like they purposefully made it really weird.
Radio. What's going on with that radio?
I really think Toyama was going for a weird David Lynch 70s horror kind of strangeness with this game. I just don't think at the time was appreciated because, you know, the assumption was that it was bad, like, by accident, you know? Like, they just weren't good. Because a lot of the time, voice acting back then was bad by accident. Harry remind you of Brendan Fraser? That's another good option. Yeah, the voice was not in any of the demos that I've found. I don't think it was in... But it was probably in later ones that were given to, like, game magazine writers, but not anything that was released to the public.
This is not a dream. What's happening to this place?
That line is so wild, I love it. This is not a dream. Alright, give me that radio. I said, give me that radio! Give radio. Thank you. I shall take it, thank you. I disagree, Lightning. I don't think that's fair, which I've argued in many videos, that I think there's a lot in the development period of the later Silent Hill games that people don't think about when it comes to why the game struggled and the early ones didn't. Which they actually did, but we just don't remember because the games did well in America. They didn't do well elsewhere, especially Japan. They sort of tanked. And a lot of it had to do with the changing video game industry at the time. Games were getting more and more and more expensive to make. You know, online features and everything an action game with guns, like Resident Evil 6. And it just... There was a lot other stuff working against the games at the time. It wasn't because the games went west. The thing that changed when the games went west is that they no longer had that kind of weird alien feeling of being from an outsider. But on the reverse hand, a lot of them have moments that to me feel very weird and compelling because they are more familiar to me, because they look like home. Like Alex's house in Homecoming always freaks me out. There's parts of Downpour that look like I could be walking around my hometown and it's like, oh, like it has a reverse feeling. So I feel like it's not fair to say it was Western developers messing it up. There were a lot of factors. But yeah, it had a lot to do with Konami expecting too much for too little, interfering a lot, trying to tell them, well, these games gotta have this, this, and that, and then screwing over with the developers. You know, PS3 and PS2 games were so much more expensive to make. It's a lot of things. Somebody actually pointed out, Bloober Team's one that's been mentioned a lot because of the deal with Konami, and I wouldn't be against it. I've enjoyed some of their games. But then somebody else said the team behind Hellblade, and my brain just went, oh, Hellblade! A Silent Hill Hellblade! Like, God, that would be perfect! I would kill a goat for that to happen. I love Hellblade. But of course, they're working on, Hellblade 2, presumably, right now. So, okay, just go straight back this way. Ninja Theory, that's the team. Hello, dog. You're right, that was it. But yeah, I presume that they are working on Hellblade 2. But how cool would that be? Like, that's a dev team that I would want to make Silent Hill. Oh my god. But I'm not angry about Bloober Team. I liked Blair Witch. I had fun with it. I think and I've heard Medium is, like, mixed results. But I think they've shown that they've got some of what it takes. Like, they're figuring it out, you know? At this point, I feel like I should just make a video that's all my thoughts and feelings about why we shouldn't blame the Western devs for every problem Silent Hill's had, and just link it every time somebody says something, because it just happens all the time. I just keep I'm sure people get tired of hearing, but I keep saying the same things over and over, because it's an argument that never ends, because it's the internet. That's just how it be. How it is. I never got to play The Escape, or whatever those other ones were. Are those still out? Are those still around? Apparently, I think, was it Yamaoka, I think, supervised The Escape? Which I didn't know until today. Oh, Phil. See, but the thing about Book of Memories is, I'm pretty sure it was Konami who said to the dev team, make this style of game, which is like, why? Of all the styles to turn a horror game into, like an adventure, a point-and-click adventure game even would make more sense than a like Diablo clone. I still don't get that. I will have to try it eventually. But I just don't get it. I don't. But again, it's like, a problem that's associated with the Western devs that actually came from, Konami. Stupid.
Isn't this Cheryl's sketchbook?
Konami was also apparently behind the fact that Pyramid Head was, like, shoved headfirst into all the various games. And apparently, I read an interview somewhere that said that Tom Hewlett complained enough about the stupid things they were doing with Homecoming that they removed him from the project, and he was not allowed to interfere with Homecoming anymore. That's fantastic. Good on you, man. Being obnoxious enough because these people are doing stupid things that you get removed from your job and placed elsewhere. And then he worked on Shattered Memories from then on, which was actually a solid game. I have, like, one complaint. Maybe two. And apparently, again, the major complaint with Shattered Memories was the, like, separation between the worlds, meaning that you're never attacked unless you're in the one world. That was a major complaint. Apparently, that was, like, one dude's idea, and other people complained and were like, I don't know, and he just insisted that's what he wanted to do. I don't remember who it was. It was a Western writer or something. And some of the other producers were like, I don't know if that's gonna work. And he was like, no, trust me, I want to do this. And I mean, it doesn't not work. It's just not quite the same experience. I would have tried, I get what he was trying to do with the chase scenes, but I think you could have still interspersed other monsters elsewhere and have the chase scenes. It still would have worked. But that's like my one complaint with that game. Otherwise, it's super fun. To the left, right? Because I'm trying to get to school. Yes, blame Konami. It's always Konami's fault. What's my opinion on Twin Perfect? Indifferent to irritated. Indifferent in that I never really... Well, I will say that I owe Fungo mad respect for the fact that his Silent Hill media site is what got me to start, like, making videos and stuff. So that's a big thing. Thank you, Fungo. Otherwise, I really didn't, like, get into any of their videos or anything. I tried reading a script of one the other day, and I had to stop because it just made me want to vomit. It's just really, the tone is really not fun. It's not something I would have enjoyed. There's certain kinds of, like, content creators on the internet that get famous and get attention for the style of, like, something really argumentative and really volatile that has attracting volatile people, and unfortunately creates a kind of a internet attack mob, and that's what happened with a lot of people getting attacked, like Tom Hewlett and other people that just, like, were just, you know, normal day doing their jobs, and now suddenly they are the devil because some dudes, like, were just making shock jock YouTube videos, you know? I don't think they meant bad. I just don't think they realized how the enormous crowd they were attracting and the attitude that they were conveying was going to have a bad influence, you know? It's why I try to be very, like, super chill in my videos. People complain sometimes. Well, I also get compliments on, like, the chill tone. But sometimes people complain about how, like, chill and quiet my voice is. But I'm like, I just want to be chill. I don't want to be argumentative, you know? What did I think about, what? I was credited in the G4 TV video? Now I feel bad about getting emotional and upset about it this morning. Listen, I got emotional. Whenever I post a big project, I often get really emotional. So I was, like, in my feelings, and I saw that G4 TV, and I got upset. I was like, man, this video has less research than mine, but millions of people are gonna see it, and nobody likes my... And of course later I was like, I gotta calm down. This is stupid. I need to stop overreacting. But that's cool that people actually, like... Okay, that's cool. Thank you, G4 TV. I'm sorry I complained on Twitter about how my channel doesn't get a lot of views because it's YouTube and the algorithm. I used to watch X-Play when I was a kid. That was, like, my thing. So, that's kind of cool. But I did get kind of upset. I was like, man, I don't know. It gets frustrating sometimes because, like, big gaming magazines and YouTube, like, stuff like G4, you know, they can so easily attract so much attention. And then small creators like me and Whitney and others who do lots of research and work really hard will get, like, a couple thousand views. And then those bigger channels will come and post the same research and get bajillions. And it's not their fault. It's just the way the thing works. It's the YouTube algorithm, and I hate it. But that's very cool that they sourced me. Yeah, G4 TV put out a history of Silent Hill video today. I hope they also cited Whitney, because, like, half of what I was seeing in the early portions were literally, like, pictures from Silent Hill's fan sites. But, anyway. Half of Silent Hill internet is just from, like, Fungo and Twin Perfect, or Whitney and Amy from Alchemilla Hospital, And maybe I've done something now. That'd be cool. Other than just get lost in Silent Hill like I'm doing right now, you know? Okay, so those 3 are blocked off. I have to go to 11th Street, but don't I have to get 3 keys first? They had some dumb takes, but G4 was all I watched back then. Yeah, I mean, didn't we all have dumb takes back in the day? Wait a minute, that means that frickin' what's-his-face watched my videos for— That's kind of cool! A person from my childhood watched videos? What? I really want to go check that out now, but I'm playing a video game. I can't stop. I'm gonna be thinking about that now, forever. Here's Mr. Key House. Sir, please leave me alone. I'm trying to get a key out of a mailbox. Yay! Was G4 that game video? Yes, G4 was a TV show that did video game stuff before, like, live streams and YouTube were a thing. And now they have a YouTube channel. And they posted a Silent Hill thing. It was a decent video. I'm just being, you know, angry at YouTube, really. I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the thing where I'm pointing my anger at the wrong person, and it should be at the corporation. I will be playing Siren at some point, because I have been, you know, the last couple videos have talked a lot about Siren, and I'm really now, I want to try it again. I've played it in the past. I'm very bad at it. To the point that a fan sent me a copy of the guidebook to help, and I'm still that bad at it. I was walking through the guidebook and doing everything right, and I still had to redo the level. I was like, what did I miss? I don't get it. It's super cool, but frustrating. And it makes me happy that also Sato Naoko got frustrated and threw the controller. That's great. Alright, so I got the key in the car and the key in the mailbox. The other... What's the other key at? Were you tricked into believing abandoned equals Silent Hill? No, I believe nothing about Silent Hill. I watch the rumors and I'm kind of like, huh, well that's a rumor. But I don't actually believe anything until I see it with my eyeballs. There's too much going around. Alright. So... You'd think I'd remember... Basketball court! That's where it was. Where's the basketball court? I love that Bob's so hard to see except for his tiny white feet. Oh! Did I wake you? Hello, Tiny. White feet. I touched a paw. Basketball. Frickin' where's the basketball court? Maybe it's that black square. Let's go find out. Excuse me, Mr. Dog. Am I literally gonna have to look this up? I was like, I don't need a guide to this game. I know this game. Where is it? Where is the basketball court? All right, where's the basketball court? Oh, it's behind the Queen Burger. All right. Are you a basketball court? Finally! Yay! I love the fact that there's like a head that looks like it got slam dunked. That's such a fun thing. Fun fact, there was 12 countries that officially got Silent Hill. Let's see if I can remember them all. Japan, Canada, or no, United States, Canada came first, then Japan and Hong Kong, UK, France, Germany, Holland, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Australia were all of the official releases, I think. But there was a unofficial pirated copy that was released in Russia based on a hack from a American copy of Silent Hill, and it's online somewhere. It's the only like hacked fan copy from back in the 1990s that we can find. It's fascinating. So yeah, Silent Hill is big in Russia, and they had a lot of articles on it, and an unofficial copy of the game, which is super cool. That's just amazing. I can't even imagine hacking and modding a game in that era for a console. Like, how? How did you do that? And then you rewrote the whole thing. Like, how? Just, it's amazing that that happened. Hey, leave me alone. Yes, give me house key. Also, we just have to take a moment because Gandalf's being cute as hell. There he is. He's in the box. Hi, buddy. Are you in a box? Hello. You're so freaking cute. I love it. Okay, I should heal because my controller's mad at me. Yeah, I probably have played Silent Hill 2 the most. It or 3 was the first one that I ever played. I remember buying 3. I don't remember buying 2. So 3 might have been the first one. But it was very close together. 4 came later. And then I didn't even play Silent Hill 1 until I was in college. Alright. I kind of like the parts where there is no voice acting. I don't know if it just might be neat to experience this game with no voice acting at all. Just total silence. It's kind of a neat ambiance. And also, like, the light and dark thing. Dang, they do really well with the flashlight. I don't know, I just didn't pay as much attention before, but reading some interviews, like, that was a major, idea of Toyama's to try and set the game apart from other games like Resident Evil. The idea that you'd have a flashlight and you could only see certain aspects, and it's really well done when you start paying attention. Like, that is pretty cool for 1999. Probably got 2 from Suspicious Garage Sale. It was from, almost undoubtedly, from a place called Ed McKay's Used Books and More. We feed your head. Da, da. They were a small, locally owned place that is no longer open here. But all through my high school and college years, that's where I bought every game I bought. Because they were cheap as hell. You could do trade-in credit. They had all kinds of old classic stuff. I know that's where I got all my Silent Hills. And I distinctly remember the first Silent Hill game, or that I got, being Silent Hill 3. Because I remember arguing with my mom, being like, please, buy it for me, Mom, please. I was very lucky. She was ADHD and dyslexic as hell and didn't read anything and just was like, ah, fine, here you go. Because I was like 12. I don't know. I was young. And I picked it out. I remember because we'd seen the movie at Halloween. Me and a bunch of my friends at a sleepover. And I remember the ending of the movie just tripping me the fuck out. And I was immediately into it. I was like, I gotta play all these. What the hell? Excuse me, dogs. I have to go to school. Alright. We're here. Can I read this? No. Apparently a lot of the posters in here, like not just the layout of the school is based off a Kindergarten Cop, a lot of the posters and maps are too. It's like, hey, that's a school in America. Copy that. Copy that. Copy that. Hello, I'm here to get my visitor's badge. More Ronaldo Gordon, list of teachers. It's written in blood. Darkness that brings the choking heat. Flames render the silence, awakening the hungry beast. Open time's door to beckon prey. Yes, yes. It's written in blood. Alchemy laboratory. Gold in an old man's palm. The future hidden in his fist. Exchange for sage's water. Alright. A place with songs and sound. A silver guidepost is untapped and lost tongues awakening at the ordained order. Alright. Was there not a save point in here? Can I go in here? Oh, it's a painting! That's why it's a painting! Okay, so there was a, image in the texture or the files or whatever of the game that has this just as a painting on a wall and it says sample. And I was like, why is this in a painting? This is why. I forgot that it was on the wall in here. And that's why they did that. Picture of a door. I don't know who drew it, but it is certainly in bad taste. Aww. I think Masahiro Ito has good taste. Apparently all the, like, figures around town that are, like, wrapped up and covered are supposed to be, like, priests of the order, because that was, like, something about that was how they, Ito imagined that they would, like, dress, is, like, hooded and cloaked, and then he, like, wraps them up in bondage gear because he's really, really into bondage, like, he's into bondage gear really, really big. Like, I am honestly at the point where I think my video on Masahiro Ito might just be about sexual fetishes. A little bit. Ah, here's the save point. Okay. Oh, and this is the fun little wall that says, something about hell, right? Or maybe that only comes later when the transition happens. There's like a thing on the wall that says something like, "Welcome to hell, fuck you," or something. I don't know. Nice and dark and creepy. Hello, folks. Are we out here in the courtyard having our lunches? That's what we used to do. We'd eat the lunch in the courtyard. Look like something in Silent Hill 3 or the Fukuro video. Well, Fukuro was like 99.9% Ito. One detail was not Ito's in the Fukuro video, and it was the eyeball in the beginning. I do not remember the name of the guy, but it was a different Team Silent member that did the eyeball. But that painting was almost certainly Ito. It just looks like it. There are other paintings in here that look sort of like Hiro Yasuda's, but it can't be because she didn't work on this one. So I really wonder who drew them. I'm very curious. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Oh, that was it. In the Japanese version of the game, there's an image of Alessa on the inside jacket of the game that's drawn by Trevor Brown, which is apparently Toyama's like favorite artist. And he is famous for drawing controversial and paraphilic art. So, like, even Toyama was in there getting kinky. Like, my favorite kink artist is gonna draw us a picture for our video game. Apparently, he's one of, I think Ito really liked him, too, or something. I had honestly never heard of him until that point. Oh, Konami. Ooh, From Software. If From Software made a Silent Hill game, it would be Echo Knight. Which is another game I've streamed and is quite fun. Yeah. Did he say anything about the melted remains of the statue of a hand? Nothing to worry about. Yeah, they made Echo Knight and Echo Knight 2 and Echo Knight Beyond, and then they also made Kuon, which is like one of my favorite games. Not quite like Echo Knight. Echo Knight's more Silent Hill-y, I think. I need to heal. But I really enjoyed both games. Echo Knight is a fun experiment. Yeah. Kuon is impossible to, like, own. I emulated it. It's a great game. Owning it? Never. It's like $1,000. It will not happen. Yes, there was a Silent Hill skateboard. Konami put out a Silent Hill skateboard like a month or something ago. They're all sold out already. But yes, that is something they did. I don't know why. Okay, I think I have to read this first. You really want to play Kuon? You should! It's fun! It's not quite like Echo Knight. But I think if you enjoyed it, you probably would enjoy Kuon. It's kind of experimental and creepy and weird the same way. It has a little more body horror. A little more, like, dive into Japanese mythology and stuff. Whereas Echo Knight feels a lot more Western, I think. But, both are really fun. I liked both a lot. I tried playing Echo Knight 2, but it's a little harder because it was never officially released over here. It was only fan translated. And, I got stuck, and I couldn't figure out where to go next, and there wasn't, like, a guide, like, so I was just stuck, you know? There was no... So I gave up. One of these days, I'll have to go back and try again. Exactly. Fatal Frame meets Devil May Cry, and you get Kuon. A little bit, yeah. God, I wish they would just re-release Kuon. It was so cool! It's so weird. And creepy and good. It's not like From Software doesn't have money. God, this level's so annoying. These monsters are, like, impossible to avoid because they just throw themselves at you. I've healed how many friggin' times? And we're on easy mode. Imagine if I was on normal. Alright, so I think I have to put the medallion in the clock tower, and then that changes the time or something. Alright, put sun in. Put in sun. Put sun in tower. Ba-ba! Alright, I think I should be able to go back upstairs now and use the piano puzzle thing, I think. Now that I put the golden sun there. Run! Would you leave my butt alone? Get up the stairs, get up the frickin'... Thank you. Silent Hill mobile games no one played. You say that, but I think really, mobile is really big in Japan. And I think that might, and the visual novel thing, might have been attempts to reach out to a Japanese audience that was really big into, like, portable gaming. I don't know if it worked over there or not. Whew. Oh no, I missed my door! No! Did I just die? No! Are you kidding? These stupid monsters. I'm on easy! Oh, I meant to check if you can switch the languages in this one. Because I know you can on the later ones. No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe I'll buy a Japanese version of this game to see. From what I've read, it looks like the story was written in Japanese by Toyama, translated into a new English version by Inaba, who then sent it off to a company called Latina International Corporation, which does video game localization, and they did the final translations. Now, whether those final translations were then again translated back into Japanese, or if Inaba and Toyama's, like, original write-up was the Japanese version, I don't know. Be curious to find out. Inaba tweeted a little about it, but a lot of the tweets have been deleted and I can't find the full source. So unfortunately, I don't know. It sounds like there were 3 drafts and the final draft was done by outsiders to, like, wrap up and clean up whatever they wrote. Ah, leave me alone. Yeah, PS1 era, there was no changing languages. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think there would be, but I figured I'd check. Silent Hill comics. The Silent Hill comics that were on the phone, that Masahiro Ito and Owaku... I'm trying to get to the practice of saying their names in the Japanese style, but Owaku and Ito wrote them together and drew them, and there was 2 of them, and they were never released physically, or they were... No, I don't think they were. They were only released on the cell phone, if I remember right, and then they were gone. And they just don't exist anywhere, and even Ito doesn't have the full thing. He's posted some images, but that's all we have. Unfortunately. Because one of them was they wrote a prequel to the first game that explained some of Lisa's background. Unfortunately, we will probably never see those, because I can't find them anywhere. I didn't actually try to read the puzzle. I guess I should read it. Okay, first flew the greedy pelican. That's a white bird. Came a silent dove. Silent dove is a white one, so I don't play it, right? Raven. So white, white, black, white, black. And it's the keys that don't make sound, if I remember right. White, white, black, white, black. So that's one of them. Oh! Thank you, Sarah! I forgot I had that! Okay, so what was the order? First the greedy pelican, and then a different one, and then that one, and it said flies into the next one, and then that one. I was wrong. First flew the greedy pelican, eager for the reward, white wings flailing, then came a silent dove, flying beyond the pelican as far as he could. So the first one over here, and then that one, and then higher than the dove, and then the... Okay, I've got it. I can see why this puzzle was like one of the most written into magazines about puzzle. Everybody was like, what the fuck? I don't get it. That one, and then that one, and then that one, and then that one, and then that one. Yay, I did it! Thought you played piano. I did play piano in high school. It's been a million years. I also can't read sheet music. Akira Yamaoka and I have that in common. I have a mental disability that keeps my brain from being able to process sheet music, which is fun. Didn't know all through piano lessons in high school, so that was great. Oh no, couldn't get the medal because of the bad translation of the text in the Russian version. You played the Russian version! We were just talking about how Silent Hill had like 12 official releases and then a Russian version that was a pirated copy made from an American version and was completely unofficial and made back when it was like ridiculously hard to you know, make a fan translation of a video game, but they did it, and Russian's the only one we know of or have record of. That's so cool. That's awesome that somebody did that, but I can see where, you know, somebody doing that unofficially as a fan probably wouldn't be able to translate, you know, wouldn't be the most helpful translation, probably. You step into the clock tower and the game becomes Clock Tower. Of course! And Pyramid Head's just following you around. He just shows up, you know. He's like, hey, time machine, bye. So, we did the piano, we did the hand. So now I just need to go in the door, right? So... how do I unlock the door? I did the two things. Do I need to go down to the boiler room? My Lola! Hello, Lola. Come say hi. Lola, come say hi. Hello. No kisses. No kisses. This is Lola. Don't go. I'm hugging Lola. No. No kisses. No. Mwah. Okay, fine. One kiss. Okay, go. That's my puppy. Okay, let's go look at the thing over here. So yeah, the last one should be boiler room, if I can escape these children. Excuse me, no! Just gonna make you go away. Alright, that did like nothing. I should really rewatch Kindergarten Cop and try and see how many of the posters in that movie are just legit stole for this. Press the switch! Pull the lever, Kronk! Wrong lever! Alright. If you actually look at this room, somebody, ripped the texture or what have you. I don't remember who it was, but it's in my document. There's no roof on this room, if I remember right. It's just the, you know, the angle that you can see. You can see the big boilers in that one wall, and then there's nothing else. The shadows hide all of it. Stole the creepy boiler from Home Alone. Here we go. That sign say, keep out?
What?
I didn't know they had a voice line. What?
Have I been here before?
What? I really want to know who designed that. Alright. I guess I'm gonna try and turn back around and go to that infirmary where I can save. No, don't kill me. I need to check my health. Oh my lord. Why am I always dying and now I have no health items? I'm gonna have to shoot the children. Time to shoot the children. Oh great, I can't go that way, so that's cool. No! No! Did that kill you? Are you dead? You don't look dead. Are you dead yet? Now you seem dead. Yeah, so I talked in my last the video before last about the censoring with the kid thing. I don't know why Europe did. Maybe they just did, I don't know. But in Japan, there was a tragedy involving some child deaths and stabbings, which led to content in the media in general being restricted when it came to portraying violence against kids. Trying to keep anybody from, I guess, copying the murders, which unfortunately did happen. And it just so happened that Silent Hill came around like shortly after that period, so that's why they had such issues with creating a child monster that had a knife. Because that's literally what was like in the news at the time, was an unfortunate child stabbing. That's why. I mean, we've always heard about those monsters being censored, but never the why, and I was like, oh, that's why. It's really just a dead end. There's nothing else in here but some bugs that want to eat my feet. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, I'm totally lost. Where do I go? Where's... Oh, maybe I missed a door in the hallway, because it looks like I did. Go back. No, Phil! I'd forgotten about that. Phil! I'd forgotten about Feet Pics Man. Why did you remind me? Feet Pics Man. Now I have to get the brain bleach back out. How do I... Oh, there we go. I didn't even have to break it. Oh, there it is. It says hell is coming. Notice. Hell is coming. And Jeff is channel moderator. He's just trying to make sure everything's cool. We have had problems in the past, but luckily not for a while. I think we got rid of most of the jerks a couple months ago. I don't think they survived Pride Month. I think they got upset and left. No! Phil, no! Alright, there's the bloody sink that's supposed to theoretically be from... What was that movie that had the bloody sink? Shining? Might have been The Shining. There was an article that put together a lot of different images that could be from The Shining. I was like, oh, I've never paid that much attention to that film. I would never have noticed. Oh, here we go. Hello! That timing was perfect! I have alarms on my phone to remind me of, like, okay, check this, make sure to check that, make sure to do this, make sure to do that, and it's just the door opens and do. Are you a fan of reinstall Paul videos on Silent Hill at all? Lately, I wouldn't even say lately, like the last 4 years. When I came back to YouTube and started doing videos again, I kind of tried to stop watching other people's Silent Hill videos because I didn't want to, like, I don't know, not contaminate, but, like, I wanted to know that whatever I came up with was my idea. I was, like, afraid of being accused of, like, stealing or something, so I stopped watching other people's videos. But I've seen, like, him or Reinstall Paul recommended to me before, and they looked interesting. Those, and I think Max Darrett and Ragnaroks are all channels that YouTube says are like my channel, and all of our viewers watch each other's stuff. So presumably, if you like my stuff, you would like Reinstall Paul and Max Darrett and Ragnaroks. Who I do vaguely know Ragnaroks. We've talked like one time. Seems like a cool person. Alright, so... this is where I put the ball, right? Ball in hole? Hole ball? Nothing special. Put ball in hole. I probably have to do the water thing first, huh? Researching this Silent Hill 1 project has given me a very different viewpoint of the first game and the series as a whole. And one thing that's really fascinating, and one of the reasons I feel very strongly about Team Silent kind of being a myth, is the sense that, like, the way the games were created were all so different. You really can't compare them. And the first Silent Hill game was made by, like, a team of 10 people that had roundtable meetings where they all talked to each other and had feedback with each other. They were all working really closely together. They were all friends. And it was 10 people. Like, that's so small. And they all had, like, pretty even feedback, even though, you know, they had bosses and people that were in charge. And that's so vastly different compared to, like, Silent Hill 2, where 60 people across 2 continents were working on this huge game. Like, it's very different. It's not as intimate, and I think you can tell it feels different. It's not bad, it's different. You can find some interesting facts about the game's sales. Specifically, Japan keeps better records of video game sales than most countries do, because a company, or a video game magazine, not website, now it's a website, Famitsu used to print every week all the numbers of the top, like, 30 selling best games. So if it was in the top 30, we had a pretty accurate record of how it started, which would be, like, the biggest amount of sales they'd get. And then I think at the end of the year, they'd also post, like, the year's best-selling, what have you. So Japan has some great records on its best-selling video games. The rest of the world is a little rougher. If they get to, like, a greatest hits level, or best of, I think, in certain parts of the world. Essentials is what it's called in one country. There's different countries have different like labels for a game that sells a certain amount. So that's one way of telling in the West how much it's sold. Japan's way better at keeping records. But Silent Hill 1 got the gold, I think it was called Gold Award in Germany, Holland, Austria, Switzerland. I don't remember what the 3 countries were. Germany was one of them, where in the first month it sold 100,000 copies across all 3 of those countries. It got an Essentials label, which meant that it sold like 100,000 its first year across Europe, Africa, and Asia. It got a Best Hits, which meant it sold like 150,000 across the United States in its first year. And in Japan, it sold 300,000 copies in its first year. It sold like 100,000 of those in its first week. Like, Silent Hill 1 was an explosive title as far as sales go. It sold like 1.5 million in its first year across the globe, which is more than I'm pretty sure any of the other games would ever sell. Silent Hill 2 would sell 120,000 in Japan in its first year. Silent Hill 3 would sell 90. Silent Hill 4 would sell 67. None of the games ever came close to being as big a seller as the first game, and all of them were more expensive to make because they were bigger, they were PS2 games, they had more content, they had more voice acting, blah, 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 blah. Bigger teams. Like, I think we've been looking at the series wrong, seeing Silent Hill 2 as this, like, Goliath of storytelling that the series has been falling under the shadow of, because that's how the Westerners see it, because Silent Hill 2 is beloved over here. It was not in Japan. Silent Hill 1 was beloved in Japan. And Silent Hill 2 was seen as an inferior sequel, and so were the other games, and none of them sold as well. And eventually, Konami shoved it in a drawer. And I think part of the struggle all these years has been Konami trying to recapture the lightning in a bottle of Silent Hill 1 was cheap to make, small team, $1 bajillion, boom. And they never did it again. Which, I mean, how do you do that again? That's huge. I cannot believe those numbers. Right, I don't think I can go through this door. Oh, now I can. Yeah, the composers produce the music in such a way that as you progress, the music intensifies the unsettling feeling. It's really interesting how they did the music. Akira talks in some interviews about how games are different than movies because you can never be sure like what order they'll explore the world or when they'll encounter certain things. So you have to kind of consider the freedom of the player in how you design the layout and everything. It's really neat. That's right. I was looking for that key. It's around here somewhere. There we go. Okay, so now I can go unlock something. What door? Maybe it's a door upstairs? Alright, let's go upstairs and see if that's what I'm looking for. Here we go. Lola, what is the matter? I bet you her ball's under a piece of furniture again. You wanna come get? Come get your ball. Come get your ball. You wanna come get your ball? Come. I got the ball. You can't have it. I'm trying to get her to jump in my lap. She won't do it. Why not? You always jump on my lap. Come here. Come on. Lola, you want your ball? Your head. Here you go. Oh my god. Oh no. Apparently this part with the body was Toyama's idea. I wonder whose idea was the cat. This whole bit is just fantastic. The build-up, the switcheroo. Especially if you went there in the normal world and saw the cat, which we missed. Oh, it's so good. Yay. Ah, yes! Am I the only one who thinks the composer for this game borrowed heavily from Dario Argento? Suspiria is Yamaoka's favorite movie. And the one he says best, like, represents his musical style, because the film is very similar to how he composes and uses music in the game. And it's a great film! If you haven't watched it, Suspiria, the original one. Fantastic. I've heard the remake is also good, but I haven't watched it, so I don't know. So, fun story about the evil dog. Apparently, they had a poll. I don't know if this was during the first game or the second. I bet you it was during the first game, because it references first game stuff too. They created like a suggestion box, and the question was, what really made Silent Hill like this? And so a bunch of people put in, you know, joke reasons for why Silent Hill was like this. One of the reasons was like the sun was too bright. One of the reasons was aliens did it, which is why I think it must have been during the first game, because they used the aliens idea. And then the third reason that was listed on the website was a dog. And that one was so funny to them that, of course, they added it to the second game. It was Kazumasa Ogiso was the one behind the idea of the dog. And apparently when they were recording that whole section of the game with Guy Sihi, who does James, he was like, I do not get this. This is stupid. And Harry Inaba was like, listen, it's just Japanese humor. Just go with it. Humor us. It's great. And then all the Japanese devs were like having a blast and thinking this was hilarious. And James was sitting there like, this is so dumb. Why am I doing this? I'm glad that they made him do it, because that's great. So thank you, Ogiso, Silent Hill programmer, for dog ending. Okay. Yeah, I think this is it. We're going to go downstairs and we're going to do that puzzle and we're going to fight a monster. Bob. Hi, Bob. Hello, Bob. Can you say hi? Say, I don't like this. Please put me down. You know I don't like being picked up like a baby. I am not a baby. Do the puzzle. Alright, I'm gonna look up this stupid puzzle because it's frustrating and dumb. Have you watched Jacob's Ladder? Yes, I have watched that. I don't think we watched it on a... No, maybe we did watch it on Discord once. We've watched quite a few different things, but it's been a minute, I think, since that one. Yeah, we did, because first I accidentally picked up, the remake one, and we watched the first 5 minutes of the remake, and it's such dog shit. It's so bad. It's comically bad. Let's go. Malenka, that movie's great. Okay, we are talking about Sweet Home, the 1989 Japanese horror movie that's really goofy and ridiculous. It's not the new Sweet Home that's from Korea, which I have not checked out yet, but the Sweet Home, the Japanese movie, which is also, yes, an NES game, which we recently streamed, and was quite fun. I had a good time with that. The film was something. It was certainly a thing that we did see. Ow. Sir, I thought you were going to open up your big mouth. Come on. Hey. Come on. Okay, now it's too dark for me to see anything. Kind of fascinating. The light doesn't work here, and you have to fight by the light of the burning corpse. Come on. Really? What makes you open your damn mouth? Is it as crazy as Houseu? No. We watched that too. I've loved that movie for ages, and I made everybody watch it. Sweet Home is wacky. It's definitely up there, but nothing will surpass Houseu. Nothing surpasses House. Great film. You should watch it if you like weird Japanese shit. Why aren't you opening your big dang mouth? Oh my god. Do I have to shoot it first? Maybe I have to shoot it first and then it starts opening its mouth. I guess that might be it. Come on. Oh, now it's open. Okay. So now it's gonna start doing the open mouth thing and the immediate death. I'm pretty sure that the mouth is. No. Come on. No. Oh wow, that was easy! Ha-ha! Alessa! Poor baby. Bab! Back on his shelf. Yeah. Unknown Artist said, Lizard makes me think of the worm boss in Silent Hill 3. Silent Hill 3 is basically like...
What the hell was that?
Beat for beat Silent Hill 1 again. But changed slightly for whatever Heather's dealing with. Which is why, like, Silent Hill 3 is a fascinating game to me, but it really works best with Silent Hill. Not as a sequel, but as a conversation. They are speaking to each other, and they inform each other in a really interesting way. She is taking her father's journey, and it's fascinating. I love that game. You can literally line up, like, every aspect of that game, and it correlates with this one. Shut up, Phil. I'm not wrong, though. It's true. It really does. Because honestly, I've been thinking a lot about... I'm always thinking a lot about Silent Hill. Silent Hill 3 kind of got the shaft when it came out in the West. Like, reviews really weren't that kind. They weren't mean, but they were like... It's more of the same. It's not anything different. It's not interesting or unique. It's just Silent Hill again. Like, it wasn't considered a revelation or, like, a good game. It was just kind of given a meh. But the more you look at Silent Hill 3, it's really smart and really well done. Like, it's not revolutionary maybe in terms of programming or what have you, but story-wise... The way the story is written and what it does, killing their protagonist, having their new protagonist take up the role of the father and replay the whole story, like, it's just really a really great story about parenthood and inheritance and childhood, and people didn't give it that credit because they weren't looking for that, you know? They were like...